Hi all, good morning, good evening. Welcome all of you to the demo session of our exclusive training provided by Isha Training Solutions, Generative AI in Software Testing. So my name is Chandra. I'll be your trainer for this exclusive training. So first of all, I'll briefly introduce myself. So today is our demo session, guys. So as per, so my name is Chandra. I have like 15 years of experience in the IT industry. So I have worked on functional testing, I have worked on automation, I have worked on performance testing. So I have experience on different tools, and I have conducted multiple batches of trainings for different tools, different technologies, as well as for generative AI. So that is a brief introduction about myself. Because we have a good number of participants, I will not be able to go through the introduction for each one of you, so please excuse me for that. However, because I want to understand the audience, so I'll request you all to please put in your full name, your mobile number, as well as your skill set. Means basically this training, whatever we are going to see, like generative AI in software testing, where we are going to see functional testing, automation testing, and performance testing. So I want to understand like which skill set do you have. If you have functional, you can write functional. If you have functional and automation, you can write functional and automation. And if you have all three, then you can mention all the three skill sets, everyone. So before I start this session today, a few ground rules. Each and every session is going to be recorded. Okay, each and every session is going to be recorded. So I'll request you all to be on mute when the session is in progress. I understand that you all would be having different queries, so we'll have a dedicated time slot for the question and answers, during which we'll go through the your queries. Sorry, I'll request you to be on mute, please. Hope I'm audible. So because the session is being recorded, and whatever documents I showcase during the sessions, they will be shared with you, as well as the demonstrations, whatever I do, right? Everything will be shared with you all, guys. And apart from that, the interview questions, and similarly, whatever list of certifications you can go through for generative AI, all those things will be shared by me. So before we start the session today, I will first of all take you through the course content, whatever we are going to cover as part of this training, so you have a fair idea, right? Like what are things we are going to cover as part of this training, and then we will go to the topics. So I repeat, guys, I'll request you all to please put in your full name, your mobile number, and the skill set to which you belong to in the meeting chat. Okay, so I'll start sharing my screen, everyone. And when I'm sharing my screen, I'll not be able to see if any one of you have raised your hands. So you can put your question in the chat, or you can wait for the dedicated time slot where we are going to discuss the question and answers. Okay, thank you so much. Hope my screen is visible to all of you. If anyone can confirm in the chat, or you can give a thumbs up to me. Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes,
yes, it is visible. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. So hi everyone, I welcome you all to the demo session of our exclusive training, Generative AI in Software Testing. So the link to this course has already been shared in the WhatsApp group. So some of you might have gone through the link as well. So in the link, you can find the details of the topics, whatever we are going to cover as part of this training. But in case you have not gone through, so don't worry, I'll take you through the course content, whatever you're going to cover as part of the training. And all other details are also present on that particular link. Okay. So generative AI in software testing, guys. Okay. We are going to cover the different types of testing, that is functional, automation, and performance as part of this training. How we can leverage generative AI in the field of software testing, that is functional, automation, and performance. So coming to the course content, so now is the era of generative AI, right? You all would have known by now that the biggest buzzword in the IT industry. In other industry also we have AI, but because other industries also use the IT code, the application code, the IT products. So that is why AI is more relevant for the IT industry, guys. Yes, in every other industry AI is being used. However, because it is very much required in the IT industry now, we need to leverage generative AI. So that is why we need to know about generative AI. Not sure if all of you are aware about generative AI. So don't worry. As part of this training, first we are going to cover the generative AI fundamentals. In this, we are going to have the introduction to generative AI and what are the key concepts, what are the different terminologies. So first, before going to generative AI, guys, we need to understand what is AI, right? So we are going to discuss about the overview of artificial intelligence and its significance. And with AI, guys, there are other technologies, okay, which we need to understand about. So we'll go through machine learning, deep learning, NLP, that is natural language processing, and then comes generative AI and the language models, guys. But remember, because our focus is on leveraging generative AI in the field of software testing, so I'm going to give you the introduction or the brief description about these technologies, as part of this training. So we are not going to deep dive into these topics. So for your understanding, whatever you want, need to know, basically to have a basic understanding about artificial intelligence and generative AI, we need to know that. Okay. So as I told you that we'll be discussing about language models. So what are the different types of language models we are going to see? That is large language models and small language models. Nowadays, you must have heard about different AI models, or whoever has at least a fair idea about the Gen AI, you must have heard the term as LLM, right? LLM is nothing but large language model, guys. So if something is large, then something small should also be there, right? So large language model and small language model. So maybe some of you might not know what is small language model. So we'll discuss about that. Okay. So what are the different types of language models we are going to discuss? And then because we are primarily going to deal with LLM, I'll also cover, right, why we are going to cover LLM. Okay. So because we are primarily going to deal with LLM, we are going to understand how do the LLMs work and what are their limitations. So what is the architecture, what is the mechanism behind the LLMs, that we are going to understand. And then what are the limitations of the LLMs, guys? That is bias, hallucination, computational cost, all these things we are going to discuss. Then you all, whoever is again familiar with generative AI, would have heard about this term, that is prompt. So we'll discuss what is a prompt and what is the the role of prompt in the field of AI, right? That we are going to understand. Then the different parameters for the language models like tokens, context length, temperature. So what are these? Means there are some parameters, guys, based on which we can interact with the AI. So we'll discuss about those parameters and what is the impact of this parameter on the responses given by the LLMs, that we are going to understand. Now, guys, the biggest challenge right? The biggest challenge which we have nowadays is the cyber security or the security risks associated with the IT products. So similarly, with generative AI also, we have security risks associated. We are going to understand about those security risks. So the data privacy concerns, if there could be any attacks, vulnerability attacks, right? And misinformation generation. Okay, one question, guys. Okay. Do you think, okay, you can unmute and give me the answer. Do you think whatever output is generated by the AI, generative AI in particular, can it be completely, correct? Or can you completely rely on the information or the output provided by the generative AI? Anyone can tell me? Whoever has a basic understanding.
No.
No, Chandra.
No. Okay. Very good, guys. So please remember, you cannot rely on the information or on the output which is provided by the Gen AI models or the LLMs, because there are different factors based on which the data, the output is produced. We'll go through them. There are different factors based on which the output is produced. So, like, in our school days, there would be very sincere students, but there would be some other students who used to copy from others. But every student who used to copy, every one of them might not be good at copying, right? Because if you want to copy, you also need to know something about that topic. Then only you will be a good copy master, I would say. Yes or no? If you blindly copy something without knowing the context, without knowing the correctness, without knowing the accuracy, then you might end up, completely failing in that subject. That is the same thing in case of generative AI, guys. We have to, as an end user, right? Whoever is using generative AI, we have to verify the output which is produced by generative AI. We cannot simply blindly take that output and use that output. No, we have to verify that. Okay, because generative AI can also produce the output which is not correct. It can basically give you misinformation, guys. Okay, and then we'll discuss like wherein all, like, we have the applications of artificial intelligence. What are the different use cases? So all these topics we are going to cover in 3 hours or 3 sessions basically. Okay, next, so we will go to the next set of topics, guys. Then once we have got a fair idea about the fundamentals of generative AI, the next thing is, guys, which is very, very important, is the prompts. In the previous slide I showed you, right, like there is something called as prompt. Now let me tell you here, guys, prompt is, in simple terms, okay, in simple terms, prompt is something, means it is basically the instruction or the question or the task which you are giving or which you are providing to the Gen AI model. Now there are different generative AI models. We'll go to them, right? Any model, take any model, guys. For example, whatever instruction, whatever question, whatever task you are giving to the generative AI models, you will give them in the form of prompts. Okay, you'll give them in the form of prompts. So the LLMs will understand your prompt. Okay. Now, guys, anyone can write a prompt. Anyone can write a prompt. Okay. But that prompt is going to produce the correct output or not, the accurate output or not, that is not guaranteed. Understood, everyone? Anyone can write a prompt, but that prompt, that specific prompt, is going to generate the correct output or not, accurate output or not, that is not guaranteed. Understood, everyone? That is why we need to learn prompt engineering. This is very, very important. That is why we need to learn prompt engineering. So I'm going to cover prompt engineering also as part of this training, guys, because until and unless you know prompt engineering, you cannot be a good user of generative AI. Okay. So what is prompt engineering? So I'll give you the introduction to prompt engineering and what is the significance of crafting means writing, right? Effective prompts. Here, everyone. Next, what are the components of a prompt? The basic prompt structure we will see. What is, what are the components of a basic prompt? We'll see that. But basic prompt is not going to work always. Okay. So you need to use some methodology. Now, as I told you, anyone can write a prompt. But if anyone can write a prompt, but the output is not going to be accurate, that is why we need to have a particular, structure or particular method using which we should write proper prompts, guys. It is also a science, guys. Okay, that is why we are telling it as prompt engineering, right? So I'm going to tell you about the different frameworks, using which you can write the prompts. Here, everyone. Then, when you are writing the prompts, you can follow different formatting styles. We are going to see the different formatting styles for writing the prompts. And then there are different prompt parameters like temperature, max token, stop sequences, etc. We'll see them, guys, and how these parameters are going to impact your prompt and the output generated by the AI model. All those things we are going to see. Okay. Please bear in mind, guys, this prompt engineering is required for everyone. May it be a developer, may it be a business analyst, may it be a quality engineer. Now, when I speak of quality engineer, he or she could be a functional tester, an automation tester, a performance tester, security tester, whoever. Understood? Prompt engineering is definitely required. Next, then how to. So when you are writing the prompts, after you follow the frameworks and all, sometimes, okay, because you are going to learn about writing prompts. So in the first attempts, right, in the initial attempts, your prompt might not produce the correct output always. So for that purpose, we have to tune our prompts. Now, you cannot do hit and trial, right? If you are going to do hit and trial, there is no point in using generative AI. So there is a definite process, guys, using which you will do the prompt tuning. So you are going to see how to tune the prompts. Okay. Then for tuning these prompts, guys, there are certain techniques. So the techniques are basically, sort-based prompting, sequential prompting, and context guiding prompting. So we are going to discuss about these different prompting techniques. And then the best practices which you need to follow in prompt engineering means while writing the prompts, what are the best practices which we should follow, guys. And all these topics we are going to cover in 4 hours, that is 4 sessions. Clear, everyone? And then we will go to the next set of topics, that is our AI in software testing. This is what is the the most interesting things, the most valuable things happen at the last, right? So we are going to see the different phases, guys, of software testing. May it be functional, may it be automation, may it be performance. The different phases in this testing life cycle remain the same. But yes, the activities which we do, right? The activities which we do will differ from testing to testing type, but the phases remain the same. So we are going to see the requirement analysis first, and in requirement analysis, how we can do requirement analysis with the AI tools. How we can understand the requirements in a more better way. How we can identify which requirements are testable, which requirements are not testable, because you all would be knowing, guys, Everything cannot be tested. Each and every requirement cannot be tested. And when it comes to performance testing again, sometimes people assume that my entire application needs to be performance tested. That is not correct, right? The entire application needs to be performance tested. That is not a correct statement. So, which all requirements should be tested, which all requirements should not be tested, we can identify them using GenAI. Then RTM, the requirement traceability metrics. Okay, I have given some of the activities. We'll deep dive into all these activities for all the three types of testing: functional, automation, and performance. So requirement traceability metrics, it is a very, very important deliverable for each of the three testing types. So how we can prepare the requirement traceability metrics using the generative AI, guys. So requirement analysis phase can be leveraged with the help of generative AI. Clear, everyone? Then we'll go to the test planning. So in test planning, we'll see how we can prepare the test strategy, how we can prepare the test approach. Now, some of you would say that I am already a very, very experienced QA professional. I am aware of all these activities. Why do I need AI, right? Definitely, that would be the question. I completely agree with you. Now, you and your colleague, for example, let's say your colleague has less experience than you. Okay, but that colleague of yours is using generative AI and you are not using generative AI. The task which you are completing in 4 hours, that guy would be completing that in 30 minutes with the help of generative AI. So a lot of efforts he is already saving. Now let's say you two people are from different vendors, okay, different companies working for a particular customer. Now that vendor is extensively using generative AI. Your company has just started or your company hasn't thought of. Okay, so then that vendor who is using generative AI will be on the edge. Will have the added advantage, guys, because they will be able to complete a lot of things before your vendor actually starts doing them. Understood? So it is a necessity, guys. It is a necessity today that we need to adopt generative AI in our activities. Okay. So test, because I get this question most of the times that if I know everything, I'm a master of all the test activities, why do I need generative AI? Definitely, guys, generative AI is definitely required because it is going to be your mentor. It is going to be your virtual colleague who is doing things for you. Like you all must have heard about the term co-pilot. Co-pilot. Many organizations have named their product as co-pilot. Co-pilot means someone who is driving the things alongside you, right? So they have very aptly given this name, co-pilot, because it is in parallel, it can do a lot of things for you. And believe me, guys, there are many organizations now who are investing a lot into generative AI. There are a lot of jobs where you will see that the requirement is generative AI. Yes, you will be doing your core activities, but the need of the hour is generative AI. So you definitely today or tomorrow you need Gen AI. I'll come to that. So in test planning phase, we can prepare the test strategy, we can prepare the test approach. I'll show all these things, test plan. Then what all testing tools should you select for your, whether it is functional or automation or performance. Okay, that you can check with the help of generative AI. Effort estimation. Whoever are test leads here, you have a lot of pain in preparing the effort estimation and all. That you can do within minutes with the help of Gen AI. Then this best test prioritization. This is another very important activity, right? When the duration or whenever the amount of time which is given for testing, it is not sufficient. During that time, you will do risk-based test prioritization, right? Risk-based testing you will do. You will prioritize your tests. So how to do that with the help of generative AI? What are the different types of performance tests? Now there are different types of performance tests, right? Load test, stress test, endurance test, volume test, spike test, breakdown test, right? So sorry. So which type of testing will you do, right? So those all things also you can identify with the help of generative AI, guys. Next, test case development. So in test case development, will primarily deal with documenting test cases in case of functional testing, developing automation scripts in case of automation testing, developing test scripts in case of performance testing, right? So with the help of generative AI, we can do all these things, guys. And functional testers, QA, okay, who is into functional testing, you all definitely need to adopt generative AI, guys. Otherwise, generative AI will replace you tomorrow. Okay. Definitely in automation also we need to adapt. In performance also we can definitely take help of generative AI to develop the test scripts. Then we can optimize our test coverage. We can identify the edge cases with the help of generative AI. Test data, one of the very important activity, right, for every testing type. So we can create test data also with the help of generative AI. For performance testing, it is a bigger pain, right? Like, because we have so much of volume involved, right? So we have to create a lot of test data. That is where generative AI can come to your rescue. You don't have to depend on other teams, or you do not have to simply put your complete effort into that. With generative AI, you can do a lot of things. Next guy is test environment setup. Okay, so what should be your plan to create the test environment? How to select a test environment? How to verify a test environment? So all these things you can do with the help of generative AI. Then comes test execution. So from your test execution phase, you can use Gen AI to create defects. Because creating defects, someone would say, what is there in creating defect? Yes, it is simple. But I have seen many times people do not follow the correct process. Enough information would not be available in the defect. I believe as a QA professional, whether it is functional or automation or performance, we should raise the defects in such a way that it should be self-explanatory. The development team should not come back to us with questions. But most of the times I see that the defects which have been raised, they are not complete. Right? So we can take the help of generative AI to create proper defects, identifying performance bottlenecks. Okay, that we can do. Reporting the defects, then sharing the daily status, weekly status, all these things we can do with the help of generative AI. We'll see more things, guys, in the test execution. And then the last phase in our software testing life cycle, that is the test cycle closure. So we can take the help of generative AI to evaluate whether our test cycle or the testing can be closed or not. Okay, I'll request you all to be on mute, please. Then how to analyze your test results? A sincere request. So how to analyze your test results? Preparing the test metrics for functional, automation, performance. We can take the help, and test report creation also, guys. Okay, so we can take or we can leverage basically generative AI in all these phases of the software testing life cycle. So now, guys, the forum is open for questions on the course content. If any one of you have any questions on the course content, please raise your hands and I will ask you all in the sequence basically.
Thanks. Very nice explanation. This is Raj. I'm from Canada.
Sorry,
I'll
Raj.
take.
Sorry to interrupt, Raj. If you could raise your hand because I think
Yeah,
Hari
thank you.
raised. So we'll go in a sequence. So
Thank
whoever has any
you.
queries, guys, please raise your hands and we'll come to you one by one. Yeah. So Hari, please.
Hi everyone. So part of this test case execution, right? So I just want to understand, like, so what are the tools we are going to use, for A? Like, we are going to use only the chatbot or any other LLM tool for, the test case generation, whatever it is for the part of the testing process, or any other
Yeah.
AI tools we are going to use during this testing topic explanation. So that is one question I have.
So thank you. So as part of this training, we are going to learn the different AI models like ChatGPT, Gemini, DeepSeek. So primarily for functional testing, you can live with those, AI models. But for performance testing, we'll discuss about, how we can integrate AI into Jmeter. Similarly, for load runner, how we can generate the, custom code. Similarly, for Jmeter, for new load, how we can, you leverage generative AI. Similarly, for automation also, we are going to discuss, how can we create automation frameworks using generative AI. Okay, so we'll be deep diving into all those activities.
So are we going to use only ChatGPT for all these things? That's what I want to understand. Or any other tools we are going to use apart from this, like Gemini, ChatGPT, or are we going to use any other extra tools, AI tools for this?
So when you say AI tools, what do you mean by that?
So we have this ChatGPT Gemini, right? So for this prompt, like what are the script are we going to use any different tools apart from this?
So that is what I'm asking you. When you say AI tools, what do you mean by AI tools? Because if you are asking about AI tools, I want to understand from you
So
what do you
generally
mean by
we
AI
know
tools?
only the ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever this LLM tools, right?
Yes,
So
primarily we are going to use the LLMs. Okay, primarily we are going to use the LLMs to leverage generative AI in all the test activities.
okay, are we going to cover any other tools apart from these two, three? That is my question, basic question.
So you please give me the name of a tool which you want to. Means I'm still not understanding which tool are you talking about.
Nothing. I don't know. I just want to know like how many tools we are going to use, for this.
Yeah, we are going to use 3 to 4. We are going to use 3 to 4 LLMs as part of this training, and we'll be discussing all the activities which we are going. Means the course content which I showed, right? So in each of the test phases, we'll be leveraging generative AI by using the AI models, as well as wherever we have the integrations available, we'll discuss those.
Okay. And the second question, so the course content, it is showing only 20 hours, right? So we have a lot of things like, so it will cover only these Gen AI concepts or some additional advanced concepts like agentic AI, agents AI. So those things also we are going to cover.
No,
How
no.
we
As
can
part
test.
of this, yeah, very good question. So as part of this training, we are not going to cover agentic AI.
Okay. And what about the projects? Like, are we going to cover any projects during this course, real-time projects?
No, we are not going to cover any real-time projects because whatever it means, I'm not going to discuss only theory, right? I'm going to demonstrate everything. So from when we start prompt engineering, I'm going to demonstrate everything. So that itself will be hands-on. Okay, so using those demonstrations, you will be able to understand how we can use Gen AI in all the different testing activities.
So there won't be any real-time projects explanation. Like,
No, that is what I'm saying. Each and every activity I'll be demonstrating how we can accomplish that activity. So I still don't understand what kind of project you're talking about.
the real-time
Every
projects.
activity, see,
Okay.
I understand what you are asking. Means you are saying like, if we will be having, you all will be also doing the hands-on and all during the sessions. That is what you are trying to ask. So No, as part of this training, I'm going to demonstrate. The videos will be shared. Each and every recording will be shared. I will go back and basically do the hands-on, practice that, and come back with your queries. For our real-time project, there is a separate training which we do. So our trainings are curated in such a way that we focus on specific areas. Okay. So yeah, if I answered your question.
Okay. Are we, do you have any other program like where we can go into, you are going to cover other topics like agent agent, advanced concept testing, different course? I mean.
Yeah, there are different trainings available. So you could reach out to our admin team for the same. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, I think you can lower your hand. So Raj. Raj, can you hear me?
Yeah. My most of questions are covered. I have the same question like what kind of tools we are going to use for make our life easy in our performance testing. Kind of when you said cost estimation and test strategy plan preparation. So are we going to have any specific AI tools to do that work for us? Are you going to explore
Yes,
that? I mean,
yes, that is what I'm saying. All these activities we will do hands-on, and I'll
perfect.
demonstrate how you can achieve or you can complete those activities using AI.
Okay, fine. And another question, I do, just hold on, please. Another question, when I gone through some of the like kind of these generative AI at my free time, I don't see any. I don't think we need much coding knowledge of any of the languages, right? Do you think we need any coding language of these things except that the LLMs those needs to understand?
No, we need prompt engineering. That is what I'm
Okay.
covering as part of this training. Because
Okay.
see, two things. What is your objective? If you want to develop one AI model, then you need coding knowledge, right? But we as a user, we are going to leverage generative AI. So the
Okay.
objective of this training is to learn how we can leverage generative AI, take the benefits out of generative AI, and utilize in the different test activities.
Got it. Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
that is our objective as sort of this training. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Priyanka.
Hi, thanks Chandra for the session today. Just wanted to ask, my company is using few of the Vertex, Google Vertex, and other MCPs. So, is the this session will cover how to test those kind of integration in your current project, something like that?
No, so we are not going to basically deal with the project related activities. Okay,
Not
so
really project related, but when you integrate, try to any for your service, like any of the service, and you integrate that AI in your service. So when developers develop it, how we can test that? Is
no,
there
so that is
something
that,
covered?
yeah, so as I told you, that is part of the development of an AI model, right? So that is not going to be covered as part of this training.
Right.
The objective
Okay.
of this training is how we are going to leverage generative AI for our test activities.
Okay. Daily test activities
How to
and how?
test a particular AI model, that is not the
Yes.
whether that is not the objective of this training.
Okay. No worries. Yeah. Thank you.
Pallavi.
Yes, yeah. Hi, Chandra. I'm new to Gen AI. So my question was, in course of training, are you going to use automation tools like Selenium or LoadRunner, Jmeter also to demonstrate how generative AI prompts are going to help us
Yes,
test
I'm
it
going
out?
to I'm go- yes, I'm going to show those tools. Okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to show those tools and means basically show you how we can by using generative AI how we can make our life easy.
So which of the testing tools would you be demonstrating?
So for example, like I will be showing you load runner, I'll be showing you Jmeter. Then in case of functional testing, we'll be covering all the different, test phases and activities. In automation, we have so variety of tools, right? We have Cypress, we have Tosca, we have Selenium, but we'll not be able to cover everything. That is where in automation, whatever use cases we have, different use cases we have, right? So how we can use, every use case can be solved using generative AI. Those are things we'll be seeing.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's the only question I had. Thank you.
Sure, no issues. Okay, I think we have covered all the queries. So everyone.
Hi,
So
Tanami here. Like you mentioned, like identifying bottlenecks also. Like how generative AI identifies the bottlenecks.
yes,
it can suggest, right?
yes.
But how that can be done?
How generative AI can identify bottlenecks, right? That is a question. That I'll demonstrate during the session. Basically, we can identify the bottlenecks in the application using generative AI. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we have covered the different questions. So please remember, guys, we have a lot of participants who have joined the demo. But I just like to add that usually in a batch we take 15 to 20 people only. So it is basically on a first come first serve basis. Because maybe most of you would be thinking that okay, is it going to be too crowded and all? No, that is not the case. So we take a maximum of 15 to 20 people in a batch, and then once we have those many enrollments, we close the batch, and that is based purely on a first come first serve basis. Thank you, everyone. So we'll now start the topics basically for today. So before that, I would like to again ask whoever has provided your name, mobile number, skill set, and all. Thank you for that. And in case anyone is still pending, whoever has not provided, so you can share those details in the chat so that I get an idea. Like okay, based on the pulse of the participants, I can plan the course. Okay, so my screen is shared, right? Yeah. So guys, next we'll see the topic for today. Coming to the introduction, guys. So before we go to the artificial intelligence, I have few questions. Okay, I have few questions, few pointers, which will make you think basically. First one. What comes to your mind when you hear the term generative AI? Anyone? What do you think, guys? When you hear the term generative AI, what do you think? Any thoughts, guys? Means you don't have to be correct. Whatever is your thought, please, you can, whoever doesn't want to speak, you can put your message in the chat also. And in case anyone wants to speak, please unmute yourself and you could, share your thoughts. Anyone?
So generative is a subcomponent in artificial intelligence technology. So where it will generate the text, images, videos, audio. So based on the prompt we are providing.
Very good. So yeah, you are absolutely right. It is a subset or subclass of artificial intelligence. Now it is called as generative AI because it generates, right? And do you think, guys, would there be a case? Would there be a case when you have provided something and the Gen AI model or the tool which you are using, it will not generate anything? Do you think? Nothing means null, blank, completely blank. Do you think? Okay, that is a question for you guys to think upon. Okay. Next. Definitely, I think all of you would have encountered or would have seen any AI generated content till date, right? Every one of you would have. Whoever is completely new, I understand. Okay, not an issue. But others would have definitely seen some AI generated content. It could be text, it could be music, it could be videos, it could be documents, it could be presentations, right? And have you encountered any such content which has impressed you or surprised you guys? Definitely yes, right? For me, at least, it is yes. For you guys, yes or no?
Yes, Chandra.
Yes.
Yes, right? Very good. Guys, we will make the sessions interactive, okay? It should not be a one-way communication. Our course content is done, because in the course content, you will not have much to say, right? But now that we have started our topics, I expect that the session to be interactive. So I'll, encourage you all to please respond whenever, that, so that it will be a fruitful discussion. You must have definitely heard that generative AI is extensively used in software development. Yes or no? Yes. Can it be used in testing? That is a question. By
Yes.
now, very good. By now, because we are having this training, right? And I have taken you through the course content. So before this training, if you had any doubts in your mind that how can generative AI, first of all, can generative AI be used in testing? And if yes, how can it be used? If any one of you had that question in your mind, by now at least you would have the answer to that question. That yes, we can use generative AI in testing. Right, everyone? Okay. Next, do you think Gen AI is going to impact your industry, whatever industry you might be belonging to, or whatever domain you might be belonging to, or whatever skill set you are having, guys? Do you think generative AI is going to impact, cause disruptions in the industry, or forget the industry, in your daily life? Do you think in the next 5 years it is going to happen? Anyone?
I think yes.
This question is there in everyone's mind today. Yes or no, guys?
No, like
Yes.
it will change the way like how employees will work with the generative AI. It's never going to lose the job or something.
Okay, someone is saying that we are not going to lose jobs. Someone is saying, and I did not, means in the first part, my basic question was, is AI going to impact our, industry, our daily life? Definitely the answer is yes. AI is going to impact. Whoever is not adapting to generative, means adapting or using AI, guys, they are going to face problems. It is the need of the hour. Is my job secure? I will say the answer is yes. Guys, don't think that your job is going to go away. Don't think that. And treat AI as a boon. Use AI to your advantage. Okay, it is not going to create disadvantage for you. But in our industry, there are so many people who are there in their comfort zones, right? They do not want to learn new things. They do not want to learn new technologies. Yes, for them, definitely that is a big challenge. All of you would have heard this news, which is, has created headlines or breaking news, right? In the Indian IT industry or Indian market, basically. TCS is going to lay off 2% of its employees. Yes or no? or 12,000. I think they have given that number, but unofficially that is bigger than that. And recently Oracle also, I think, laid off around 10% of its employees in India. So we are hearing these things, yes or no, guys? And only those people are getting laid off who are in the comfort zones, who are not contributing to the organization. So don't ever, make this question, don't take this question very seriously. Don't allow it to, apply stress on your mind. Your job is secure. Only thing is, we have to always adapt to the latest technologies, whichever is coming in the industry, guys. So please, I'll request you all to please start using generative AI. Okay, that is why we have designed this training, guys. Many people are still not using it. They are not aware. So our objective is that people should start using generative AI, guys. Then, what are the applications of Gen AI? So the application of Gen AI is not only in the IT industry. Gen AI is being used in so many different industries. Now, movies are also being made, right? The entire movie is also being made with the help of generative AI, guys. Are you getting me? So there are different applications of generative AI in different fields. I think someone is not on mute. That is a sincere request, guys. This is, the ground rule that we all have to be on mute during the session whenever we are not speaking, because the session is getting recorded, right? So we should not disturb the decorum of the session. So these are some of the pointers, guys, which, I wanted to discuss. Next, we are going to see, or we are going to understand about artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence is basically of three types, everyone. Artificial narrow intelligence, artificial general intelligence, and artificial super intelligence. I think we have reached the time today, guys. So I think we will stop the session here today. Okay, and we will resume in the next session. Okay. So
yeah, one
I
last
hope you all
question,
enjoyed.
sir. This is a Monday to Friday, right? Is this a weekly Monday to Friday? I'm sorry to
Okay,
ask.
thank you for that question. Yeah. So we are going to have these sessions from Monday to Friday only, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Chandra, regarding course content, so it is showing only 20 hours, right? Is there a possibility to add some extra concepts here, part of this Gen AI?
No, as part of this, as I mentioned to you, we have different trainings available. So as part of this training, we are going to cover these many topics.
Okay.
Yeah. You can ping me one-to-one, probably whatever additional topics you want to do. Let me know.
Yeah, mostly looking into, like, I have the same question too. Like most of the interviews when I attend, they are looking the performance testing towards to the data engineering, right? Data analysis. So if you can cover that couple of those topics, that will be great. Like how do we do the performance engineering, performance testing for the data engineering viewpoint, considering these generative AI tools?
See, I'll be covering performance testing. I'll be covering the performance engineering part also. If you give me use cases, I can show you how we can see. That is what I'm telling you. The area is vast, right? Whatever use cases you have, whatever problem statements you have, you give me them to me during those sessions, right? During those phases, whatever we are covering, we'll be covering those as well. Understood?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we'll stop the session here today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed today's session. We'll stop the session here today. Thank you for joining. And in case if you have any queries, please do ping in the WhatsApp group which has been created. So I'll be responding to the queries, or my team will be responding to your queries, guys. Okay, thank you all for joining. Have a good one. Bye for now.